So I'd first like to start by thanking all of you that trekked to Monterey once again for another fantastic and almost finished Cloud Identity Summit. We had people come as far as Turkey. I think I heard the longest trip to get here was about 30 hours. And so if you are still in the audience, hanging in to the very end, thank you for coming all of that way. I'd like to thank our sponsors, without which we simply would not be able to pull off the kind of event that we pull off. And I know many of you are kind of professional conference goers, and so you all know where the bar is set, and I'm sure you can appreciate we like to set the bar a little bit higher. Suffice it to say, it simply wouldn't happen with participation of the entire industry. So thank you to our sponsors. I think the service and the food and the hospitality at both of these hotels has been phenomenal. So on behalf of all of us, I would like to thank the staff behind the curtains, behind the screen, out in the hallways. Thank you guys very much. We had over 100 speakers this year, and just as I was walking in, I was talking to Dale Olds, who was telling me he was quoted in someone's talk just a few moments earlier, and then he went on to say that CIS and the content this year was at least 2x as good as it was last year. And so I would like to thank all of our speakers for participating and making that quote a reality. I've heard that throughout the show, and certainly that's a high watermark for Mark Diodati, who set the agenda this year. So thank you to all of our speakers. And thank you, Mark Diodati. Where are you, Mark? Stand up, please. Thank you. You did a phenomenal job. Mark spends about half a year, believe it or not, working on the agenda for this conference and organizing all the speakers throughout the industry to come share their knowledge. So great job, Mark. Mr. Morgan, where are you, Mike? Please stand up. If you thought this conference was well run, now's your time to thank Mike Morgan. Behind the scenes, you saw someone running around snapping a lot of photos, and you're going to see some of those photos in a couple of moments. That's our very own Brian Campbell. He's right over here. Please stand up, Brian, for just a moment. Thank you. And as you'll see in a couple of minutes, he got some phenomenal action shots from our boot camp on Monday. And it was fun to see him with all his camera equipment trying to keep up with us and get just the right angle. And so you'll appreciate some of those shots in just a moment. Early, late, he's given sessions. He's got his camera with him the whole time. He really has documented CIS for the last 5 years. And as I go back to the archives, all the great memories that stick in my brain really are as a result largely of Brian's work over the years. So thank you very much. How many of you enjoyed the families here at here at CIS? That is as a result of my wife, Kim. I had to go back a year to find a photo that my beautiful daughters, who were in my prezo earlier, did not photobomb. And I think, I've got to say, Kim spends about half a year working on this program. And she makes trips out to the venues that we go out. She scopes the whole place out. And I see her sitting at her desk morning and night, organizing everything that she's going to do for all of you. And I've got to say, it is simply a labor of love. She's not on the payroll. There's no contract. It is simply, how do I make CIS special, and how do I make the families feel welcome? And I think it's just become who we are. I mean, clearly, every year it's gotten a little bit bigger. I think we've had over 150 children and close to 200 family members this year. So thank you, Kim. Okay, so now we've got some winners, and I had to talk to Mike a little bit about this. Apparently, you have to be here to win these, which might explain why we've got a really good audience here this afternoon. And we've got 3 gifts. They're all roughly the same value, I've been told, so I'm just going to go in order. And by the way, is Michael Barrett here? Is he still here? Oh, I just got to say this. When we were testing, and I said, you need to stir these to make sure if I reach down, he pulled out Michael Barrett. So anyway, that one's been burned. Sorry, Michael. So we're going to go into this one for just a moment here. And why don't we start with the iPad? And of course, I've got to check to make sure everything's been stamped along the way. So quick look, everything's been stamped. And we have Dileep Sawaraman. Is he here? There you go. Come on up. Congratulations. You only have, hopefully, what, 5 of these? Awesome. Congrats. Okay, the second one, we will do the beats. And I'll try to change it up a little bit here and come to the back. Quick scan. We've got all the signatures. Is Nick McFadden here? Congratulations, Nick. Congratulations. Enjoy. If you have kids, they will take that from you on the airplane. Trust me. All right, and for our last one, it's a GoPro. It is Patrick Hines. Patrick Hines. Wow. Come on up. Congratulations. I think we've discovered a little trick here, making sure everyone's present for the gifts. Okay, just a few things I learned, and obviously this conference is overwhelming if you hit most of the tracks throughout the week. And so I'm just going to touch upon a couple of highlight themes, and then we will close with some photos. I thought this one, this morning, inevitably everything that can be known about me will. And my digital dust is going to get indexed by everything and then aggregated by other services and summarized up. And so along with that, the future is pretty much the only thing that hasn't yet been breached. But somehow I get a feeling that everything that is known about us will be used to predict everything that could be known about us, and it'll probably be fairly statistically accurate. So we'll see how long that one holds true. Context is the next big conversation, and so we're kind of moving out of the early stages of this industry with a lot of the building blocks that we've been working hard to build for the last decade. And now we're going to construct things on top of that. But obviously context is very important. Along with that, the whole notion of continuous authentication and all the technologies that are around us to recognize who we are and put us in the right context to manage and secure the risk that is associated with living in this digital world. This is going to start to get, if we thought the last chapter was a little bit complicated, wait till we get to this chapter. One of the challenges of 2015 is to scale identity. And certainly this is near and dear to my heart. I've seen in our world, a lot of these identity silos have been connected, but I really think we're in kind of phase one of that, because most of the connections are what I like to say pairwise or one-to-one, and we haven't elevated ourselves to a higher trust level that will really unlock and enable identity at scale. And so this is going to be interesting, and just judging by the last decade or so, we've got a good 5 or 6 years, maybe a decade in front of us to try to get this one right. And then second to last, when the standards are done, half this room is going to be looking for a job. Fortunately, when the wheel is round, we construct a new wheel. And it's square, and we've got a lot of mileage to put on that. So I actually have no concerns that anytime soon are we going to be done with the standards within this industry. We've got a lot of work to do. And along with this, Nishant sent me this one. This seemed to be thematic for 2014. Okay, and with that, number of you submitted photos. I appreciated all of those. Brian, as you know, submitted a number of photos. George was out early morning by the looks of some of your photos, capturing the essence of beautiful Monterey around us. I didn't get every photo and everybody. We always try to capture as much as we can, but let's just take a look at the week.
Like we said before, because we're rock hardcore, I'm DJ Ruddock and Trans, this is another flaw. We'll rain on your brain and rock your knot when it comes to rock. Give it all we got. BMCs, we got what it takes. Let the poppers pop and let the breakers break. We're two cool cats, it's like that. That's the way it is, but stay the heck back. Causing hard times for suckers MCs, cause they don't make no songs like these.
many of you that work with me know, I often share these little emails I get at 2 o'clock in the morning from my mother. And who knows why we're both awake at the same time, but sometimes it occurs. And this one, just kind of occurred to me, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. This old world rocks on. The winds of change are ever present, and thankfully, most people in our still amazingly dynamic world are able to adjust to the vicissitudes of the daily grind. I personally believe that this is possible because most people still believe that our existence is fundamentally a crash course in the learning and progressing to the best of one's ability, given the amount of time we each have. If something doesn't work out, take a different path. It's pretty basic, and sprinkling your days with unexpected kindness is a worthy pursuit and goes a long ways towards making this a better place for everyone. And with that, we will see you tonight and next year. Thank you.
Dreaming about the things that we could be.